Come on, I'm right here. I'm to your right. I'm right here. Here in the middle. To your right. There. Finally. This is episode 5 of A Christmas Table. We previously did a beautiful beef recipe, so hopefully you check that out when you have the time. Today, it's all about kind of giving you that ability and flexibility to make quick dishes at home to serve your friends and family during this Christmas season. We are here at Landers where they cut their meat fresh. It's absolutely freezing. I'm wearing a t-shirt. I'm kind of like an idiot. But we want to get a beautiful piece of pork that can be a nice centerpiece during these festivities and this season. So I'm gonna find a jacket, I'm gonna find a piece of pork, and then we're gonna go back to the kitchen to cook it all up.
Let's make a fire, just me and you. Talk about all that we can do. We gon' make this December a Christmas to remember. We gon' make this December a Christmas to remember.
We are continuing our Christmas videos, and today it's all about using beautiful pork. Today we are making a paksiw na pata. It's a very straightforward dish, very easy to prepare. A lot of people usually chop up the hock. I like to keep it whole so it looks almost like a roast. It's beautiful, it's festive. And then we're gonna make a lot of different sides with that. A mixed eggplant and mango salad with a very simple dressing, some adobong kangkong with some pork bits inside, and that's about it. Oh yeah, and then some nicely charred bananas, some saba bananas to just complement the whole thing so that when you serve it with perfect fluffy rice, it's gonna be absolutely delicious. So to get started on the paksiw na pata, very simple, just get a big piece of pork leg, pork hock. You can have the foot attached if you want. I decided to cut it off, and then I scored the meat to make sure that everything cooks beautifully inside. We then chop up some garlic and some onions, fry that with some oil, place the pork inside, and what we're looking to do here is to kind of brown both sides. After that, we build a sauce. Very simple. We have some vinegar, we have some soy sauce, we have some sugar, we have some pineapple juice. I like to use pineapple juice because it really helps soften the meat nicely. We then take that whole mix and we just put it all over the pork hock. You want it to be kind of like halfway to 3/4 reaching the side of the pork. We bring that whole mixture to a boil, then we cover it, bring it to a simmer, leave it there for about 2 hours until basically the meat almost falls off the bone. Now you don't want the meat to be too soft to where you pick up the bone and everything just kind of falls apart, because we still want this to look like a whole piece on our final plate. For a quick little Filipino festive looking salad, very simple. We're gonna take some yellow mango, some green mango, and some tomatoes. Remove the piths from the tomatoes, slice everything up any way you want. I basically diced the yellow mango and just more or less julienne both the tomatoes and the green mango. And then we're gonna add some red onions, really finely chopped as well. Toss all that together and then keep that to the side. Next, we're gonna take our eggplant and then fry that in a little bit of oil just to get it nice and tender, but also get some nice char marks in there. Don't be scared of the char or it getting slightly black. That's all flavor. The sauce we're gonna be using is kind of like a Vietnamese nok cham, but in a Filipino-ish version by using just some lemon juice. You can use some calamansi juice if you want to, a little bit of sugar, and some fish sauce. You really don't need much of everything because you already have so many flavors happening with all your ingredients in there. So you toss everything together, add the eggplants back in once they've cooled from cooking, and then toss it together, keep it in the fridge until everything else is ready to go. Another little hot green we're gonna be serving it with is a classic adobong kangkong, the one I like to make and the one I learned how to make a long time ago. So we have some boiled pieces of pork belly. These have been boiled in some water with a little bit of salt for about 30 minutes until they get nice and tender. You're then gonna take some garlic, fry that off in a pan with some oil, add in your pork bits until they get charred and get some nice color, and just give the fat a little bit of time to kind of render out. Once everything has come together nicely, we can then put it in a bigger pan. You're then gonna add a little bit of white vinegar just to really grab all those flavors, bring everything together. Cook that down for about 2 minutes until the vinegar and the acidity dissipates. Then really quickly, some soy sauce goes in, your kangkong goes in, cover everything with some vegetable stock, and then just let everything absorb and get nice and soft and beautiful. And that's basically done. Over with our paksiw na pata, things are looking quite good. We're almost, let's say, halfway there. But what we're gonna do that's really important for this dish is to have those dried banana blossoms. A lot of people do add them straight to the pot and then let it absorb all those juices. But what I like to do is just let it stand with some boiling water for about 5 minutes until everything is nice and soft. And then we're gonna add that to where our pork is cooking. And just to add a little element of surprise, I've seen some recipes of paksiw na pata with some saba bananas inside. What we're doing here is just cooking them in a little bit of oil, frying them so that we can serve them as a side. Again, don't be scared of the char. I want these to look kind of like I grilled them outside. So we're gonna cook them on some high heat just to really get those nice black marks on it, but not too much obviously, right? Everything is good to go, now we just have to combine it. So we'll start with the star of the dish, or the star of the feast rather. So that looks absolutely beautiful to me. We're gonna go ahead and transfer it to our pan, being very careful. And then we're gonna kind of pour the sauce all over. So I'm gonna grab the banana blossoms first. All these bay leaves and stuff like that, you can kind of discard that. We're gonna serve that with our saba bananas. These will kind of just soak up all that beautiful sauce. Then our kangkong goes onto our plate. Nice and chunky. And our salad is basically done and ready to go. All we need now is some rice and this feast is complete. Time to try everything. I'm excited, this looks really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut up some pork. You see I can do it with my spoon. I wanna get some skin, some fat in there, and it's gonna be absolutely glorious. I'm gonna try it by itself first. Those are like the best parts. It still has a little bit of that chew, which is so important for me. And the meat is cooked beautifully. And that was like a 2 hour and a half cook. Let's put down some rice so we can really get the full experience. Create that kind of like perfect bite that you don't think will fit in your mouth, but hopefully it will. That is so good. And the best part about this recipe, it's a type of dish, once everything is in that pot, you can kind of just leave it and forget about it 2 hours, 3 hours. Just make sure you keep checking it from time to time to make sure that the liquid doesn't kind of evaporate all over the place and get sticky, because there is some sugar in there. So you can just keep adding water if that happens. But the ratios we had today worked really well. We actually didn't have to add any water to the cook at all. So great, your friends coming over, your family's coming over this Christmas season, you put something in a pot, leave it. Very minimal prep when it comes to the sides that we served it with. Just a little bit of chopping, some stir frying, which will literally take you, once this is done, about 5 to 10 minutes to prepare. So all in all, you've got a feast for some friends and some family that they can see a lot of love was put into. But for you as a cook, it wasn't that complicated, and you can actually spend more time with the people that, you know, this whole season is about. So thanks again for watching. We have a new video coming out tomorrow. Again, same thing, one large protein, multiple sides, and just ideas that you can use for Noche Buena, for the 25th, or any Christmas party you have coming up, all the way up until the new year, where we start focusing on your health and losing all of this. Peace out.